Trish Villines is with us from the Independent Living, and she's here to talk about some training.
Hey.
And who's the training for?
The training is for agencies like ours and people who support individuals with developmental disabilities. We help 60 local residents that have developmental disabilities, and
60?
60.
Wow.
We have 60 clients total. And our licensing agency, which is the Developmental Disability, the Division of Developmental Disability Services, requires us to get 12 training hours each year. So we have 120 employees that have to take
Through that, yeah.
12 continuing education hours. And as we were growing, we thought there was a great need in North Arkansas for an opportunity to get a lot of training at one time for a reasonable price, because most of the agencies out there that are like Independent Living are nonprofits like we are. So we're really excited. We were able to get the college on board, the North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education.
Right.
And we partner with them. They help facilitate the entire thing. And we invite speakers. I have speakers coming from Conway, Fayetteville, Little Rock.
So it's going to be here?
Yeah, at the Duran Center.
Good,
yeah. That's what's really great about it, is because as a nonprofit, we don't get a lot of opportunities to give back to the community. But in this instance, we do get to, because we get to invite agencies from across the state. And I think last year was our first year, and we're hoping that it grows. But last year we had about 15 or 20 different agencies from Fayetteville, like I said, Little Rock, Mountain Home, Benton. There was one from Saline County down in Benton, which is where I grew up. All come and attend the training. And then we encourage them, you know, to stay the night and attend both days.
Right. Do you have people coming in from Missouri, or is it just for Arkansas?
We don't. It's really just for Arkansas, because each state has a different licensing entity, so to speak. So mostly it is just for Arkansas, but there's only like two full day, you know, trainings where you can go and get a bulk of your hours, and one is in Hot Springs in September, and one is in Conway in August. So we have one now in North Arkansas in April.
How many hours can they gain?
5.5 each day. So there's the possibility to get 11 training hours.
And you said you need 12 per year?
Yes.
So that's the bulk of it, right?
Right, exactly. And it's really reasonable. It's $75 for both days and $50 if you just want to come for one day. So we're trying to encourage people to come for the 2 days.
No doubt.
Yeah, and it's good for us because it gives us a good name in our industry, you know, with other providers like ours, but it's also good for Harrison.
Sure.
So it's coming up in April, and we've got all of our speakers booked, and we're really excited. And I did want to talk about a couple of the trainings specifically.
Okay.
And one of them is understanding difficult behaviors in relation to Alzheimer's and dementia.
Which ties right into our segment we did earlier. Yeah.
Yes, and so we are seeing, you know, more individuals who have a developmental delay, like autism or Downs, getting in. They actually get on Alzheimer's or diagnosed with dementia earlier in life, and it's something that correlates with the fact that they have the developmental delay. So this is really specific to how to, you know, treat and help a client who has Downs but is getting into their 60s and is maybe developing some, you know, dementia and some, you know, characteristics, so to speak, of Alzheimer's.
And since you're mentioning Downs, they live a lot longer life than used to be projected for them.
Yes.
So they are going to run into some of these issues.
Because I think because of the better care, that's why we're learning more about these different diagnoses all the time, which is really great.
No doubt.
Another one, we have two autism workshops, because we have a guest speaker in the morning that's like a motivational speaker. It's a keynote that will speak. We have one that will speak each morning. One of them is Lane Wheeler from or Ragsdale now.
Right.
And she's going to do something called The Story of Your Life, and it's just a motivational. And another one, we have a guy, Roy Johnson from Conway, and he's doing a presentation called Put Some Gratitude in Your Attitude. So we like to get people pumped up in the mornings, and then they have two options. for each breakout session, and there's 3 breakout sessions. So if you don't want to learn about Alzheimer's, but you want to learn about autism, you may have that ability.
They've got a choice there.
But autism is really growing right now. I think we are hearing right now that it's 1 in every 150 babies that are born are being diagnosed with autism.
Is it better diagnosis or is it more prevalent?
We're not really sure. I mean, I wish we knew, we could pinpoint that. I think that there have probably been many individuals with autism who have slipped through the cracks along the way.
Yeah.
And then maybe people just said, well, they're quiet, or they're, you know.
And there are some functioning autistic
Oh,
children,
yeah.
so we probably in years past wouldn't have been able to diagnose that.
Exactly. I mean, everybody talks about Rain Man, you know, with Tom Cruise, that movie, and that's a good example of that. Sometimes people, I mean, back in earlier years, people just didn't know how to, you know, interact with people who had this diagnosis.
Well, and it certainly increases their potential for a better life.
Yeah, for independence.
To be able to communicate with them and know how to.
And so we do have Treating Autism, a review of current options, that's going to be offered by a doctor from the Conway Human Development Center named Patricia Parmley. And we also have a behavioral concerns with children, for children with autism, and that's from a doctor with UAMS. And we're really lucky to have the partnership with the college, because they help get us in with the people from UAMS and the medical centers and the Schmeeding Center to really get these great speakers, because nothing is worse, I think, than going to training and sitting for 8 hours and just being bored to death.
And wondering why, what? You know, what am I getting out of this?
But I mean, our goal is for the caregivers. I mean, we're opening, I mean, it will be appropriate. People that are caregivers, that are nurses, that are teachers, or that are social workers who support individuals with disabilities will really have a chance to come and get some good training that will help them in their daily work.
Can lay people, if they're interested in becoming a caregiver, or
if they're interested in becoming a caregiver, or if even a parent of some that has a child, you know, if they saw some interest, if they contact me and they saw some interesting, you know, topics that they wanted to attend, they would be more than welcome. I mean, we do have the registration fee for a reason. We have to offset some of our costs. But it's not a huge, it's not something we're doing for a fundraiser necessarily. It's just something we're doing to try to help, you know, to get people more educated and educated on the prevalent issues. So
certainly you want people to pre-register.
Yes, and they can register by calling the college, whose phone number I don't have. I know they can call Monica at 391-3367, or they can call me, which is, I know that number, 741-6909. And we'll get them, you know, going in the right direction to register.
Now, when in April is this?
It's the 12th and 13th, a Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
And
not March, but next month, April.
Yes, it's actually April. We're good. We have everything scheduled, and we also open up the atrium of the Duran Center for vendors, and we have someone who's going to be doing reflexology, the foot massaging, and people come in with conversion equipment like vans that are converted to be accessible for a wheelchair, and they come in and they show off, you know, things that they offer, and there's a fee for that as well, but people can call me if they're interested in that.
She's the woman to know.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, Trish, thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, April 12th and 13th, and call Trish for information.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Trish.
Thanks.
Up next, Ian Reynolds is here. He's going to be talking about the business. Actually, it's called the Ozark Expo, but I kind of like to call it the Business Expo.
But it's the Ozark Expo.
And that's coming up next Friday and Saturday. We're going to be talking about that and what we're going to be doing there. Stay with us.